All right, welcome back to the channel. Kenny Porter, Shawn Porter's father, talking big smack about Errol Spence Jr. being out of shape, leading into this fight that they have coming up in September. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, I hope you accept my invitation to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. Thank you so much to the Patreons on the Patreon page, the people that donate through the Cash App, and the Super Chats on the live streams. Definitely check us out on our live streams Monday through Friday, right around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For OG Boxing Talk on Sunday. Let's get into this. As he has been known more and more throughout the boxing world, K. Diddy got something to say about Errol Spence Jr. He says that Shawn has been training for 8 weeks. He's looking good. He's doing incredible things while he's running, doing incredible things on the bag, and he's going to be ready to go. But that Errol Spence Jr. is out of shape with only 8 weeks left in training camp. So obviously he's favoring his son in this fight. It's been real interesting, man. There's been a lot of stuff that is consistently being said about Errol Spence Jr. And I looked through the comment section this was on a Boxing Scene article. So I went through and I read some of the content, some of the comments on the Boxing Scene article. And I really don't do that too often, man. But I looked down at the bottom. I was like, man, I wonder what these people over here on Boxing Scene chat room are going to have to say about it. 4 or 5 comments talking about, once again, puffy nipples and water weight from performance enhancing drugs and, and blah, 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 blah. Look, Errol Spence Jr., from what I have seen, and I saw Errol Spence Jr. in the Jamal Charlo fight, saw him in person. His cheeks look a little chubby, face looks a little full. But when you're cutting down to 147 pounds, I think what you see is a guy's face gets drawn a good amount. You look at Gervonta Davis in the lead up to his fight with this taking place this week against Nunez, I do believe his name is. First time this guy's fighting out of South America. His face looks drawn a little bit in the lead-in. Same thing when you see Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter looks much bigger, much fuller right now than it did when he was, in the last fight during the weigh-in to the Ordenis Ugas fight. So, look, I do believe, and I had heard rumors that the conditioning was an issue in the Mikey Garcia fight, that Errol Spence Jr. had allowed himself to balloon up and weight a little too much between the Carlos Ocampo fight and the Mikey Garcia fight, and that was really going to be a focus of Errol Spence Jr.'s team in between the Mikey Garcia fight and whatever fight wound up being next. And from what I can see, it seems like that's what he had done. If you check out Trill Boxing Talk, definitely subscribe to Trill Boxing Talk. Black Fight Fan TV has an inside line to Errol Spence's team. They said that he's already in there training. I've heard rounds, 15 rounds, 12, 15 rounds. Also, he has Blu-ray. The rumor is, this is me getting this stuff secondhand, obviously, that Blu-ray, who is the fitness training and conditioning coach for Errol Spence Jr., is in the camp this time. Where last camp with Mikey Garcia, he wasn't in the camp. That's what I heard. Now, this is what I've heard. The rumor is that he wasn't in the camp, and pretty much what they did all during the Mikey Garcia camp was just try to lose weight. Now, the reason I think that happened in the Mikey Garcia fight is that Errol Spence Jr. went from fighting. There's a lot of ducking going on with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence was trying to get a fight with Shawn Porter. He's trying to get a fight with Keith Thurman, trying to make these fights happen. And those two guys and Danny Garcia as well refused to fight him. So he wound up fighting Lamont Peterson and Carlos Ocampo back to back. And there's a possibility that wasn't quite as motivating for him as getting up for a big unification welterweight championship fight. From what I can see, Errol Spence Jr. looks like he's significantly more motivated for this fight. I've been watching training footage of him coming out of him running in Jamaica And that, along with the conversations that have been taking place, or the word that have been coming out of his camp, make me pretty confident the guy's going to be in absolutely tip top shape. But we will see. We will see. Shawn Porter, on the other hand, I don't think that's too smart to do. Keith, Shawn, don't listen to Kenny having counting on that kid not coming in shape. That's a kind of a dangerous recipe. Leading people to believe, or leading Shawn Porter to believe in, hey man, this kid's not in shape. He's not going to be in shape. We're going to be ready for him. We'll be in better shape than him. That's, you better train for this guy to come in there 100%. Expect Errol Spence Jr. to be 110%. Expect Errol Spence Jr. to be the best, in the best condition, not drained, not having come down, not having to come down from a tremendously high weight, any of that type of stuff. And expect the absolute best Errol Spence Jr. that you can imagine, and prepare for that guy. Because if you're preparing for a guy even being out of shape from the Mikey Garcia fight, and I do believe that was an issue in the conditioning was an issue in the Mikey Garcia fight. Even that, he still threw 700 punches and was still continually coming at Mikey Garcia throughout that whole fight. So, even a Errol Spence Jr. that might be a little under conditioned is still something serious to have to deal with. Now, Kenny Porter also said something else about this fight. He said that they're used to being the smaller guy. They're used to being the shorter guy. So Errol Spence's size and Errol Spence's height is not going to be an issue for those guys going into the fight. And I think that is a fair observation. Shawn Porter as long as I've seen him, he's just looked like a really, really, muscular 100, like the height of somebody that should be fighting at lightweight, but the muscle mass that carries his weight up into 145 pounds. However, I'll tell you this, man, I don't think Shawn Porter is long for the 147 pound division. I do believe the problem with Shawn Porter is that Shawn Porter's body type. He's so muscular, such a football player type of body. And I don't know if he got that from lifting weights earlier, because I know he did used to play football. I don't know if he built that muscle mass early, when he was training for football, or if it's just kind of a genetic thing. His dad, Kenny Porter, seems like he's a fairly big, strong guy as well. But the fact that he keeps having to drain down and keeps looking so drawn in those fights, in the 147 fights, definitely for his fight with Ordanes Ugas, and definitely for his fight with with Danny Garcia, I saw him looking fairly drained. We'll see how that holds up to a relentless attack by Errol Spence Jr. to the body. And I don't think that the biggest problem, but I don't think that the biggest problem that Shawn Porter is going to have relative to Errol Spence Jr. is Errol Spence's length or size. I think it's going to be his strength and his inability and Errol Spence's ability to fight on the inside. I am almost 100% sure that Shawn Porter is not going to try to stay on the outside and box, pot shot, move around, and kind of do what he did in several rounds with Danny Garcia, and several rounds with Ordanes Ugas. Because if he does that, he's going to get beat from the outside. That's a southpaw. I don't believe Ordanes Ugas, or I know Danny Garcia is not a southpaw. So you're dealing now with a southpaw, and it's usually harder for an orthodox fighter to land a jab on the southpaw, unless, of course, you're coming over the top of the orthodox jab, like the way that Luis Ortiz did to Deontay Wilder pretty effectively, or Kell Brook did to Errol Spence Jr. with some degree of success before, things snowballed on him. But he's more than likely going to be coming on into the inside. He's going to try his wrestling, grappling, pushing and grabbing. And I don't think that is really going to play well to Errol Spence Jr., because Errol Spence Jr. has enough strength to keep him just far enough to light off on his body and I don't think that he's going to be able to wrap up and hold Errol Spence and prevent Errol Spence from getting off. And Errol Spence Jr.'s jab and his straight left hand is going to be able to hit, I believe is going to be able to hit Shawn Porter on the way in. there is a lot of people talking about the outcome of this fight being a knockout for Errol Spence Jr. I'm not so sure that it's going to be a knockout for Errol Spence Jr. I think if it is, it'll be more than likely it'll be a towel getting thrown in by Kenny Porter because of the accumulation of punishment. But I see a good fight, man. And I think that there's a good potential that this fight could go 12 rounds. I think that Shawn Porter is a wily enough veteran to try to prevent himself from getting knocked out, even if that means he's got to take a considerable amount of punishment and do it, or he's got to grapple, and hold enough. He might get a couple points taken away for doing that. But anyway, that's how I see that going. But again, if I was Shawn Porter, I wouldn't bet on Errol Spence Jr. being out of shape. And just the fact that it's funny how many guys just be looking at different parts of Errol Spence Jr.'s body and judging. There are people that just got full cheeks. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.